welcome to AFRICUNIA television. This is the news update reaching from our studio here in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Deborah Ezeh. A news update today will begin from western Nigeria, where the rise in price of crude since the Russia to Ukraine war began, coupled with exchange rate instability in Nigeria, among others, have pushed up the prices of refined petroleum products across the country. Industry figures seen on Tuesday showed the cost of Brent, the crude against which Nigeria's oil is priced, rose from about above $133 per barrel around 6 p.m. Nigeria time. The commodity had traded below $90 per barrel before the war in Ukraine started. The position of oil marketers on the impact of crude price hike on the refined petroleum products in Nigeria had also been confirmed by the federal government through the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva, and the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari. Findings on Tuesday showed that diesel sold for between 550 naira and 625 naira per litre in the few filling stations that dispense the commodity. And still in Nigeria, Nigeria's Governor's Wife Forum yesterday stormed the National Assembly complex to protest rejection of gender bills during the Constitution Amendment section last week. The action came as the world marked the International Women's Day, and the Governor's Wife, led by Chairperson and wife of Ekiti State Governor Bisi Fayemi, joined hundreds of Nigerian women who had been converging at the complex since last week, urging lawmakers to rescind the decision. Addressing the gathering, Fayemi said by rejecting the bills, the National Assembly has rejected the progress of Nigerian women. She said, and I quote, "This country belongs to all of us. 50% of the country's population is women. No women, no nation. We want our leaders in the building whom we campaigned and voted for to recognize that Nigerian women's lives matters. Anything less than that is totally unacceptable." While the House of Representatives yesterday rescinded its decision on the 3 gender-related bills it rejected earlier, the decision was taken following an executive section. The bills aim to expand the scope of citizenship by registration, affirm actions for women in political party administration, and provide criteria to be an indigene of the state in Nigeria. Meanwhile, mourners in northwestern Nigeria buried the dead on Tuesday after clashes between a local self-defense vigilante group and armed gunmen killed at least 57 people. According to the police, the clashes occurred Monday in the Zuru district of Kebbi State. The gunmen were heavily armed and were fleeing military operations in neighboring Niger State when they were intercepted by the local vigilantes. Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari condemned the killings while urging security forces to increase efforts. And away from the Nigerian scene, in Mali, the United Nations mission in Mali, logistics convoy hit an improvised explosive device north of Mopti Center. According to a fire assessment, the explosion caused the death of 2 peacekeepers. 4 others were injured. 2 Egyptian peacekeepers of the United Nations mission in Mali and 2 Malian soldiers were killed on Monday morning in 2 separate events in Mali, the UN and the Malian army announced. The head of the MINUSMA, El Gashim Wing, strongly condemned this attack in a statement on Monday, calling on Malian authorities to spare no effort to identify the perpetrators of these attacks. The farmer announced that they had repelled an attack by armed terrorist groups, and the operation was still underway at midday on Monday, and the Malian army said in a tweet that 9 deaths had been recorded on the side of the attackers. And in Egypt, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi visited Riyadh on Tuesday to hold talks with the Saudi leadership on various bilateral issues. Upon his arrival, el-Sisi met with Prince Mohammed and was later expected to meet with the Saudi Arabia's King Salman to discuss bilateral relations between the 2 countries, as well as the latest developments in Ukraine. Both Egypt and Saudi Arabia last week joined the likes United Arab Emirates and 138 other nations to vote in favor of a United Nations General Assembly resolution demanding Russia halt its invasion of Ukraine and withdraw all troops. Official sources indicated that the 2 leaders will also discuss controversial Ethiopian resonance dam that has been at the center stage of a dispute between Addis Ababa and Cairo together with Sudan. And now we head to the foreign scene where South Korea's military said on Wednesday it has sent back all 7 North Korean sailors who were aboard a ship it seized after the vessel crossed into South waters a day before. The boat was towed to a South Korean border island after crossing the northern limits line, the de facto sea boundary between the two Koreas, according to Seoul's military officials. It's been confirmed that the border crossing resulted from a navigating error and a mechanical defect, and all of the sailors expressed a willingness to go back to North Korea, the ministry said in a statement. And moving on, floods that have devastated Australia's east coast will be declared a national emergency, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said on Wednesday, as authorities look to deploy aid and urgent supplies to the worst hit areas. Morrison, on a visit to devastated towns of Lismore in northern New South Wales, also pledged more financial support for people and businesses affected by waves of rain that have submerged rural towns and suburbs across Sydney. The emergency declaration, which was set up after Australia's destructive 2019 bushfire, will help cut red tape and speed up aid from defense personnel and criticism about a slow response to the flood, in which 20 people have died. And more updates from Ukraine. Ukraine must hold off Russia's attack for the next 7 to 10 days to deny Moscow claiming any sort of victory, said a senior government official, as more than 2 million refugees fled the biggest assault on an European country since World War II. Vadim Densenko, advisor to Ukraine's interior minister, said Russia was desperate for at least some kind of victory, citing the cities of Mariupol or capital Kyiv as the most likely target. Russia said it will provide humanitarian corridors on Wednesday for people fleeing Kyiv and 4 other Ukrainian cities. The only operating corridor is that from the city of Sumy, which opened on Tuesday, and about 5,000 people rode buses out of the northeastern city on Tuesday, after Moscow and Kyiv agreed on the corridor. And now on to the sports scene. 28 years after Nigeria defeated Zambia to win the Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia, the federal government is set to redeem its pledge of giving every member of the team a housing unit each. Nigeria defeated Zambia 2-1 in 1994 through goals by Emmanuel Amuneke to win its first African Cup of Nations trophy outside the country. It was the country's second triumph in the competition, which it won for the first time at home in 1980. Speaking in Lafia, Nasarawa State, during the commissioning of completed homes under the administration's National Housing Program initiative, Buhari said the approval is in fulfillment of the pledge made to the players by the federal government 28 years ago. And finally, Marcus Rashford is suffering from his first major confidence crisis at Manchester United, but the prospect of him leaving Old Trafford cannot be entertained by a club in even greater turmoil, said Paul Merson. With Cristiano Ronaldo and Edinson Cavani out injured, Anthony Martial on loan at Sevilla, and Mason Greenwood unavailable, Ralph Rangnick left Rashford on the bench for Sunday's Manchester derby, a decision described as the ultimate pull-down. And that's all from us on News Update today. Do ensure to follow all our social media platforms on Jointim, Pangram, Instagram, and Facebook in their respective order to stay connected and updated to news and other programs. Visit our website on www.africunia.tv, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and leave a comment for us on the comment section. Once again, I'm Deborah Ezeh. Bye for now.